Good morning,
Good morning.
everyone. Welcome to FYI.
Welcome.
For your information, I'm Jaretta Finance alongside Sharon Duncan. It is Thursday, 7th of February 2020. Sharon wants me to say his name differently. He wants me to say
Sherrod.
Sherrod. I do not know why. But it's not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen, you know? So it's going to be Sharon Duncan. So good morning to you. Is it JG Duncan and Jaretta? Good morning to all the
Morning, JG. Morning, JG.
I see Keith Dowling on with us this morning. Good morning, Gavin Liverpool, Vashti Magnot,
Waterloo, Canada.
Yes. Beatrice Selby. Beatrice, how was her birthday yesterday?
Beatrice, happy belated birthday, Beatrice.
No, her son. You
the son, everybody.
How was that birthday?
Happy be forward to you. Happy belated to your son.
Tommy Gibbs, good morning to you.
And thanks to the thing, Beatrice.
Maureen,
thanks to the thing.
Chester Paul, whatever that thing is, you know, thank you. Thank you, Beatrice. Paula Mattis, good morning to you, Paula. What are you guys doing out there this morning? How was your day yesterday?
And let us know that you're hearing our audio clear and crisp. Corbin Mars, how are you doing, sir?
Tessa, Isaac Brave, Zandy, good morning to you from Orlando. Good morning to you, Tessa. How are you folks over there this morning?
Tessa, good to see you, Tessa. And Sharon Alfonso Evans.
My goodness.
Please and thank you. June Chase is here. Claire Capel. All the big ones have joined us. All the big ones.
Hazel Prince George, good morning to you. Hazel, how are you doing out there?
Yep.
I see Facebook user again is here from Australia.
Respect and manners to Corbin Mars. Respect and manners.
That's a name? Mm-hmm. That's a Facebook username?
No, sorry. Sorry. Another name. Sorry.
Another name. Facebook user, send in your name. Come on.
Ricardo Charles. Good to see you, Ricardo. Morris Alvina.
Morris Alvina. I know Morris Alvina. I know this name well, Sharon. Mm-hmm. Rudy Hines. How are you, Rudy,
I want
this
the details.
morning? I don't know. I can't remember.
Rudy. How are you doing, Rudy? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Is it Paul?
Henriquez?
Henriquez.
I think so. I think it's Henriquez.
I hope so.
Or Henriquez. Henriquez. Henriquez.
I hope.
Claire, Alexis, Chomley, Richmond.
Althea,
all our favorites.
Benjamin, good morning to you, Althea.
Althea, how you doing now? Yeah, you know, all them Altheas I know little hot.
Little hot.
All them Altheas I know little hot.
Okay.
Nero the Jean, each and every one.
As Joyce Prince Kingston, good morning to you.
Oh yes.
Cecile Ogle, good morning to you.
Cecile. Good to see you, Cecile.
Yeah, we're staying safe, Cecile. I hope everyone is staying safe.
Let me test security this morning.
Mark Allman, good morning to you, Mark.
Better than yesterday.
This is the first time I heard the name Allman. Mm-hmm. That's surname Allman.
Mark, how are you doing? Good to see you, Mark. Good to see you. And all the other fantastic folks who are joining us. Folks. The night is far spent. Happy that you guys are here. We made it to another day. Happy Thursday.
You know, I think Gavin has been a little
Happy Thursday.
You know, I see Gavin is saying something about the new logo. We're going places. I think Gavin's seen this logo late, you know.
Gavin just come true after the man. Julia, if yesterday was Hump Wednesday, what church is it?
Slope. We're going down the week.
I had to ask.
You had to ask.
Slope Thursday.
Yeah, don't worry.
Slope. Pollyann Schultz, good to see you.
I'm sharp on the response.
Good to see you, Pollyann. Guys, we love all of you. She's pepping up here. She's pepping her step today. Lola Lancaster Bishop.
Don Johnson, Sharon. Call these names differently.
Yeah, Lola Lancaster Bishop, I beg your pardon. Oswin King, all the royalties here.
Clyde Edwards, good morning to you.
Yeah,
Clyde,
good to see you folks.
Clyde, where are you joining us from this morning? I see Rowena Williams, when we know Rowena coming through.
Yeah,
right?
Maxine Cameron is here too. Good to see you, Maxine. How are you doing this morning? Good to see all you fantastic, lovely, uncontroversial, peace-loving people.
Uncontroversial, peace-loving. You know,
except Corbin Mars.
Is this Lorraine Harmon? That's Lorraine you were referring to?
Lorraine, yes.
Felix is here this morning.
Skimon.
Good morning.
S-C-E-M.
But I see Zambia is in the house.
Zambia come true.
Zambia's back in the place.
Back in the place. I like that. Back in the place.
Joining us from Zambia. Good morning
to you. Hi Raymond, how you doing out there? How you doing? How is the bush? How is the bush?
The bush.
It's far.
I think
it's
I
far.
just Sir Han is here with us this morning.
Sir Han.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, Warnella Garnet is here too. Warnella, how is your son? Good to see you, Warnella. You know, we big and gone through, Warnella. Them young ones now.
The young ones.
Them young ones. Me, you and Jurita big and gone through.
I saw like 3 or 4 gray hair in my head. I said, this is not it. I'm not ready for this.
That's start building a rocking chair.
I'm not ready for this.
Put it by the window.
Come on.
I candy turn up, girl. I candy Lisa. I candy, how you doing there? Very subjective name, if anything.
I'm telling you.
Very subjective.
Well, I can't is referring to you as handsome. You
come
need to
true.
acknowledge.
Yeah. I candy, all your name is racked up to be. You're all that.
So Marilyn Thomas is joining from Queens this morning. Guys, let us
Queens.
know.
Yes, a lot of queens and kings and the thing.
Some people have been delinquent on the shares. You know?
A lot of queens and kings on the live. Don't be delinquent in the shares, folks. You know, some people say PPV. They want people to know where to get in the news and information. Right? And they hear now, they gone to a girl, you know what happening in their country? Look what happening here. Pop. But they say they get information from you, y'all wicked. Y'all wicked, shady like shit. Y'all come on the live, as people say. You come on the live.
Come on, right?
You come on the live. Share the stream. Come on, folks. Come on out.
Well, there's a lot of dramatical live I see happening recently.
Yeah, a lot of drama. A lot of drama, but the live is free.
I can't even want to
Once
know.
you go in detail.
Giretta, how young are you, my dear? You know, 3 gray hair is.
I waited there myself. I waited myself. With your fascinating equipment there. Yeah.
Don't worry.
She got age. She big, but
I have good genes.
She big and she got sense.
I have good genes.
She big and she got sense.
DNA proper.
Naomi said the peeping. Sure, Naomi, the peeping. Can't share the live. Folks, hundreds of you are here. Do us a favor. Share the live stream for us. Share the program. Juliet Benjamin, we see you. Clyde and all the other folks. Good to see you guys.
Oh my goodness! I see Julian Elliott here this morning.
Yeah.
Julian is here. A very faithful family member of the FYI family. Good morning to you. It's always a pleasure to have you with us in the morning.
Julian tastes extra good this morning.
Yes, I know, because Sher said yesterday something was a little brackish.
I don't know if she buying the milk. It's rough. She put in this milk in the tea as if she teeth it the half spoon.
That's yesterday.
A little half spoon. It's better today. Much improved. Much improved.
Okay.
Jennifer Bob, Julian Elliott. Good to see you guys.
Oh
and the gray house is not the old horse.
Marlon thinks I look like 19.
Here's a story here now.
Thank you.
What was the Beyonce song? What a beautiful lie. What a beautiful lie.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, Jennifer Jones Crawford. I see Irwin John. Irwin, how is Region 3? How is Region 3 doing? I see they move flats, girl. They move Commander Flats from Region 3. Here, had a big party there. Irwin hosted it.
You know, because there was, I think he was the one spearheading the removal of the tint.
Yeah, and he used to take our night program very serious. He fighting people on. Rolling up on the ground with people. He took us very seriously in the ring. Let's fight. He pulled you over for your tent. He wrestling off the tent. Big story. So they've moved flats now. I think he's in charge of a special branch. And I hope you guys, Region 3 breathing a sigh of relief now, like, you know what flats they need?
You're going to see those tinted vehicles start pulling back up.
You know what flats they need? Flats had to meet Miss Dalrymple.
Listen, all seriousness with the tint.
That's pay-per-view. I seriously, I was serious. I said, if Flats had meet Dalrymple, you can imagine that?
Or in a posh way.
A posh way. Bite for wrestle. She bited, he wrestling, Region 3 boy. Right? West Side, they say is the best side. It's true. It's true. And Flats added to that. Flats and Dalrymple. West Side is the best side.
Yeah,
Bartica got a reputation too. Bartica fighting on the stelling, fighting in the police station, too many people watching in the ring. The biting on the west side, fighting in Bartica. Is country serious?
And Barry, I think Stephen Bell fights on all levels. In the political fight, in the physical
serious.
fight, station fight, Stalin fight.
Serious. He fight all over
Board association fight.
We coming to that. They're fighting all over Bartica, folks. They're fighting all over Region 3 and fighting all over Region 7.
Oh my goodness.
That's what's happening on that side. But good to have you guys here. Oh yeah. Well, Flax, what? I ain't Chris. You see, Orwin, no, she's only party. She's correcting me. It's Commander Watts and not Flax. Same thing.
Oh, and I'm right here, right?
Orwin Shirley party. It's Orwin. Ingrid King. Boots on the ground. Don Bales said boots on the ground. Good morning, folks. Good morning to each and every one of you. Clyde says Watts is the wrong man for the job.
I would not be able to say it.
Waveney Madahas Alexander. Good to see you, Waveney and Ingrid King. There's a lot of royalty in this on this slide this morning. We're good to have all of you guys. Good to have all of you. Ensure as you come on, we got a chair set for some of y'all, but y'all I'm passing my y'all people, y'all rather stay with them people. Right there, y'all come inside. With that being said, pull up your coffee, guys. We got a couple of issues we want to share with you, then we're going to get out your face.
Marlon Kings, I have relatives who are from Bartica. You see how people like to be in Bartica and associated.
I was about to say, you know, the N and the L starts. I don't know. You want to break down yourself like that. You got some fighters in Bartica too. You got some fighters.
We got to find if Isabel. She's related to the Bells.
Well, it says Orwin Train. What's her name? It's Orwin Train. Dalrymple. They're different.
Very, very different. Very, very different. Our country is we have less than 1 million people, but
it's a good thing.
A unique group of people.
You could imagine if you had about 5 million. It's genocide in this place. Death by biting, death by fighting in police station.
Sharon McKell said, yes, flats, what, something.
That's true. It's true, Sharon. We in Christine, as we say. You know how we say colloquially here? I didn't Christine, I ain't got no vocal in here. Guy is different. Thank God for you, we boy. Thank God for you, us. Thanks be to God.
But I love how we can differentiate based on what part of the country you would know.
Yes.
With a few persons, less than 1 million people living in the country, and yet you can know distinctly this person is from here, from having a conversation.
Or look at them too. Barbados people different.
Very different.
Right? Linden people a little loud. Linden people talk very.
Did you just say a little loud? Or are you trying to simmer this down?
Barbados people different.
Linden people very loud, rightly so.
Right? Linden people a little loud. Be a little extra.
Yes,
right?
Rightly so.
And Manza is a typical example of that. Region 3 just different. Must observe Ganesh, my people. Different, right? They ready. Bartica?
What's on Bartica?
Bartica? Ask me after Debbie Poseidon finish with the Speedboat Association. And we can see.
Well, we're gonna discuss that, guys. Listen.
Yeah, quite a few things.
You don't want to share the live stream this morning. We were going to be dealing heavily with issues in Bartica this morning. Very heavily with issues.
Yep. What's in the morning papers? Let's get right to it.
Well, a lot of things in the morning papers is we're going to be actually discussing in the trend today also, but we can just put some of them out. You know, I see on the front page in the Starbuck News this morning. I got to give credit to Starbuck News. You know, they've got a lot of good reporting. So kudos to Starbuck News. As he put your house in order, he can tell regional commanders.
Who was breaking down?
Put your house in order. Regional commanders.
Is Flats and Watts he talking to?
well, Watts have been moved. So from the regional.
Well, this message like a little late.
So Jones and Witter moved to court over the NRF. Sorry about it, guys. Never a dull day, never a dull moment. As Sherrod clean his mess up.
You know.
As we go ahead,
folks, Twitter gave me this with a heavy mind. The cup just throw itself, you know. It's a heavy mind to give me this with. Great there, Twitter.
Well, as we look at it again, we've seen in papers, and I just want to say that Mr. Norton, Aubrey Norton, and Vol Lawrence to be sworn in as MPs on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
The ceremonial process.
Yeah.
And I see a man charged with murdering BK employee also. And those are some of the things that we're
Wicked.
seeing on the morning papers this morning. Shad, what's going on your end?
Pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. I see the Attorney General is backing this call for the different formula to appoint the Chancellor and Chief Justice.
Let me just, could we just stick on that for a couple
you
seconds?
You want to stick here?
For a couple seconds.
Go ahead.
If I may,
stick.
I have been listening to what I personally see. I mean, I could be I could have some critique coming from my position. I'll say it anyway. But based on what I've been seeing, especially when it comes to the AG backs the call for, it says the AG backs the call for the new formula to appoint the Chancellor and Chief Justice. Now, my issue with that is it appears to me, based on how I observed things transpiring, is that this is not a back-in, but this is more of a call. But it seems to be a set piece in which the Bar Association went out and made a statement, and then the AG went on his program and went on to elaborate and expound and put meat to the whole issue in order to say that they're backing the call for this new formula. When you want to talk about democracy, you have to actually practice it. When you want to talk about inclusivity, you actually have to practice it. You just don't want to go there and have a system that you're saying, oh, we have a democratic country. If you have a democratic country, you have to have a system in which it works. And you must be willing to come to the table and have tough negotiations to say, well, this is how, these are our points, these are our reach to a position that we can move forward. And not just saying that, oh, well, it's not working as is right about now, so we should just remove the formula and go to a more dictatorial formula. If you're removing formulas and you're removing guidelines that seeks to have inclusion in the decision-making process and to make it more democratic. When you remove the democracy from the process altogether, you are moving more towards a dictatorial system, and that needs to be called out. I don't see it as the AG back in a call. I see it as a set piece altogether, and I just want to put my views out there. I said it first, you're going to see later.
That being said, folks, those are a couple of the things in the morning paper. I see here also ExxonMobil has free reign over Guyana, and this is what Kaitro News is saying. And you know, Kaitro News has been consistently on the front line where our oil and gas sector is concerned, and trying to ensure the Guyanese get a fair shake. Trying to ensure that, guys, and that's a couple of things in the morning papers this morning. Believe it or not.
Yes, well, we can move directly into
the trend. But I want to know, those folks who are joining us, I want to encourage you all to share the live stream. Share the stream, y'all on the live. Just chat it away. But exercise your hands. Exercise your franchise. Share the live stream. Hubert Musa in see for a little bit. Desiree Simon, Liverpool is here as well. And who else we got? We got Glenford, Gordon, and Carl Fordyce is here. Clyde Edwards. All our fantastic folks.
Recipe be giving you great here. True. I didn't even think about it.
It's them boys. Well, you got die like earphone.
No, me doing that.
Die like earphone.
I'm not gonna stop taking them on.
Yeah.
Altogether.
Yep. Well, we're on the trend, folks, and we'll be starting with some international news. I think that's what the guys got queued up. So international news.
Yes, so as we're seeing there, and I know, Sharon, you've been talking about what has been going on at the COVID front for quite some time. So is it PAHO Director Carissa warns of further COVID-19 wave?
Yep. You know, and Dr. Carissa Etienne has been out there from the start, again, trying to stay ahead of this coronavirus, this pandemic, and in lots of instances, even in the local scene. You know, Etienne was the one who told us first that we had a Delta here.
Well, that is true.
Right? We said we suspect, we didn't know, we weren't briefed. The Delta variant as well. Well, it took the Trinidadians to tell us we had the Delta variant here. Right? But they've been out front really and truly doing exceptional work at PAHO, trying to keep us safe as a world and even as a country. And if PAHO is saying, folks, if PAHO is saying, I almost said WHO PAHO. If PAHO says, you know, we are to keep an eye on COVID and keep an eye on the COVID wave, they know what they're talking about. Yeah. Because, you know, you have lots of places like Guyana are opening back up, but people are trying to be as cautious in terms of keeping the precautions.
Correct.
In terms of your mask wearing and sanitizing and so on, they're concerned. But us here, we're different. We're different. So again, this is something we have to look for. It's something we have to take cognizance of, that the coronavirus is still real. COVID-19 is still real. It's still deadly. People are still dying from COVID-19. And there are other countries that are seeing a surge. But our numbers here.
We don't know the numbers.
Yes, our numbers here aren't accurate at all. So when you see 13 tested positive, that's not true reflection of what is.
We don't know the numbers because what was done even before the opening up and all of those things here, what was done is that announcements were made that they're not going to be testing you. The testing were pulled back, and encouragement for persons to do home testing and not having to actually a system in place that they have to actually report the results to the hospitals and so forth. So in Guyana, the truth is that no one knows how many COVID cases are out there.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So persons with COVID just walking around leisurely, and there is no system.
Yep.
The system is a mess.
So again, that's the encouragement from PAHO to continue to take precautions. And we've seen some action, guys, in Pakistan.
Yes,
Pakistan treated lots of actions there.
We have been talking about the very first piece that we did on Pakistan, what is going on over there in their parliament. We said we're going to be continuing to bring you updates on it. And as we're seeing it right now, it says the president there, Dr. Alvi, on Wednesday wrote a letter to the Election Commission of Pakistan to propose a date for holding general elections in the country under Article 224(2) of the Constitution, basically. But this is coming, guys. If you remember, the development comes after the National Assembly Deputy Speaker threw out a no confidence motion against the Prime Minister Imran Khan, and the President dissolved the lower house of Parliament on the former's advice on April 3rd. So that is what we're seeing over there. So we continue to follow it very closely, that situation.
Pakistan serious.
Pakistan different.
Serious.
Right?
They're wasting time. Since you sneeze.
You bring the no confidence motion, we throw it out. Y'all go to the court, as when y'all going to the court, we're checking in with the Election Commission to see when is a good day to call the election. Pakistan different.
Yep. The Election Commission, swift.
Apparently.
Ready, fired up, and ready to go. What else will happen? We got some stuff happening between me and Martley and Justin Trudeau of Canada and me, Martha Barbados.
Yeah, but you say his name. You say his name better than I do.
Justin Trudeau.
Well, as it says right now on the regional front, we're looking at the fact that Prime Minister Mia Mottley and Trudeau, new co-chairs of the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals Advocate Groups. And Shard, you've been talking about it. The fact that No, you've been talking about the fact that Mia has been out there and she has been speaking.
Oh, yes.
She has been letting her voice and be heard. And there you have it. Now at the level of the Sustainable Development Goals, those advocate groups, Mia's right there. She was placed as a co-chair also. So her voice again being amplified.
Correct.
Once more, So you don't have to be, as Shared often say, the size of the country doesn't determine the size of
your thinking.
The person that is thinking altogether.
Clearly, ours is demonstrative of that.
So we look forward to hearing what exactly is going to come from those discussions as they co-chair that advocate group.
Yep.
Yeah, as we move forward to what is going on the local front.
Local. What's happening there?
Too many things happening on the local
front.
Nothing
on regular people on this local front.
Well,
nothing's irregular.
Well, this particular one, police prosecutor Sean Gonzalez on self-bail for obstructing justice. The police prosecutor, guys, he is on bail for obstructing justice. Shout, how does this go with you? I think one of the particulars that is, it says ex-police prosecutor, he is on self-bail for ducking sentencing warrants.
Yep. Serious. There's some things that are almost Guyanese in the judicial system. Files go missing, right? Whole case files go missing and matters drag on. People are remanded.
Pulled out of
pages missing. You got people on remand longer than the sentence they might get for the actual infraction, the actual crime, or what have you. Right? A lot of things, and this is one of them, So again, an investigation was launched.
Yeah.
And this was part of the outcome that this police prosecutor, was found to be ducking for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Well, not for whatever reason. We know the reason.
Well, the thing is about it, a lot of times we ourselves have a responsibility to be fair and know the law, know what is going on, because if we don't, a lot of times people go and they seek the advice from individuals such as the police prosecutor and and they take it as a gospel truth. I mean, as they should, those persons have a responsibility to serve, and to serve properly, efficiently, guided by the law. All right, but a lot of cases, I know of some cases personally, when persons go and make reports and all of those things, and then the perpetrator goes to the prosecutor, and a whole different scenario plays out. I know of lots of reports.
Money's passed.
Lots of reports. Yes, Sheriff said it best.
Money's passed. Money's passed.
A lot of cases are reported. A lot of those cases are reported and they're handled internally. To what extent, I cannot say, but we have a responsibility to know our rights. They have a responsibility to us to serve. We have a responsibility to know our rights, know when people are pushing us around and telling us nonsense.
Yep. And again, we want a proper justice system.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean,
one that we can trust.
This is what happens,
It's trust.
Something happens to you by someone, and you think that the system is looking out for you.
Yeah.
The party who's in the right, not so. Right? Your file could be ducked. That's the reality of it.
Page is missing.
Right? But Hickens come by. Hickens is here to save the day.
Well, Hickens has been doing a lot of
Super Cup
press work, I must say. Yes.
Gotta do.
I see a lot of press being covering Hickens so far, but I'm not gonna have any comments on that.
So no doubt, Juita, Hickens can take care of this matter here. Right? We can see a difference. No doubt. On
that note, what we're going to do is we're going to follow up with this story very closely, because a lot of times when you see new persons at the helm, you want to see what is the change that they're going to bring altogether. So we should follow this matter very closely to see what change is actually brought out of it.
Correct.
What example is set for other prosecutors that might be doing the same thing.
We're going to keep you guys updated, and that's it. Look what's happening on the Alliance for Change front. The Alliance for Change is endorsing the National Day of Fasting and Prayer. I ain't about the fasting part just yet, but I could probably take on the prayer too. Right? It's going to be done on Friday. Friday is the 8th. Tomorrow?
Tomorrow is that?
Tomorrow it's on National Day Prayer. And here's part of what EFC said, that you gotta, the people gotta purge these demons of exclusion. Right? Purge and exercise. Right? These demons of exclusion. That's what it's saying. That's what we got to purge the demon. Then inviting people to a lot of functions, excluding people from the decision-making process. The Attorney General, according to them waves yesterday, talking about the government don't need to consult with anybody. There's a lot of things happening. So that's what the AFC said. The AFC went on, I think, in our segment with what they said. We pulled out a portion of the, pull out a portion of that press statement there. Part of the attribution is incorrect, but the substantive part of it says that the Alliance for Change calls on its members and supporters and all Guyanese to offer and observe prayers and fasting on Friday, the 9th of April, and every day thereafter, interesting, for our dear land of Guyana, so that the ills of our body politic and wider society, discrimination in every form, racism, corruption, nepotism, arrogance, pride, greed, revenge, prosecution, and malice, to name a few, can be removed from our lives. Yeah.
Well, I think that, that prayer reminded me of the chaplain's prayer.
I thought the same thing.
That prayer reminded me of the chaplain's prayer, And I don't think your friend is gonna like this call anymore. I don't think he's gonna.
I tomorrow I think there's something happening at the cultural center. I think somewhere.
I think it's the
Chang
conference.
I can see some. I hope they like the prayers, because they don't like prayers in this country. Specialist police force. I can see the chaplain there. Some other folks going up there and, praying a prayer. Corruption. at the Ministry of Amrine Affairs, for instance, corrupt officials.
Yeah.
Right? And elsewhere.
I have like I was
I want to see the prayer for the Bartica Boat Association.
Well, for that particular matter, you know, I was just about to say that I am very spiritual. I was brought up like that. However, I have a very strong belief in having actions, you know. So sometimes I believe that sometimes I believe this whole narrative that, you know, God help those who help themselves. I believe that sometimes you just got to go out there and use the breath of a life and strength that God gives to you and fight for things that and demand it in such manners. Come on.
Go after the things that you want. Yeah. I believe strongly that I'm a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars. I have a right to be here. And whether or not it's clear to you, there's no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. You know, somebody should make that into like a song, right? And then they call it the desiderato. Avoid loud and aggressive people. They're vexation to the spirit.
A vexation to the spirit. I don't like weighty people.
Yeah. You know, we got to do what we got to do. You got to go out there and make things happen, you know. The good
point says there's no point. Let me put it out flat, and as I can say, there's no point in praying for something if you don't have the actions to go with it. The same thing I was saying yesterday. I said yesterday, no point in saying that you're calling for this and you're calling for that if you don't put structures in place that is going to accompany what you're calling for to actually make it happen. No point in going out there and praying for inclusivity if you're not having systems in place that are inclusive.
Yeah.
There's no point in there going out there and praying for progress and democracy, for progress and prosperity for everybody if you're not putting policies in place to make sure that everyone is prosperous, right?
Yeah.
So I endorse prayers and all of that. But I'm saying that it must be backed up by actions.
You know, this is what happened at the Stalin and in the police station in Bartica. You just went from 0 to 60. You see that vexation? That's the partition.
Let me just drink my tea this morning.
That's the partition. But the other side of this, Rita, is that lots of what people are going to be praying for tomorrow is within the government's purview to change. They got the power.
A lot
to
of
change it.
Every problem that we have been discussing on a daily basis is things that they are creating, they are endorsing, and now to go and pray for it to change. You didn't pray for it to happen. It wasn't prayed into being.
Yeah, I can imagine
exclusion wasn't prayed into being. You know, so I always support anything spiritual. I am a big advocate for that. I believe spirituality is a major component of our lives altogether. But I also believe that you must not get to a point in which things need to have structural change in order to arrive at the place we need to be, and then go and actually tell people that, you know, you can just pray it away.
Yep. Because I could see some people praying tomorrow for, Father, let, you know, promotion be according to the seniority. We got it. Power to change.
Yeah.
Right. Exclusion. You know, don't let exclusion be numbered among us.
Racism. When is that prayer going to be had?
Right. Equity in the distribution of the country's wealth. We got the power. We got to get the political will.
I think when it comes to prayer, I don't those things are not things that it's not a light. It shouldn't be looked at lightly. When it comes to the intervention of higher powers, right? Don't play with it.
But if you want to play with higher powers,
don't play with it.
If you want to play with higher powers, it's up to them, right? But you know, many the good book tells us. The good book tells us this. Many shall say, Lord, Lord. Glenford Gardner, is not true? Matthew Dennison and Donna David, Maureen Coppin Williams, Marilyn Thomas. Many shall say, Lord, Lord. Right? Then he can say, beat out. I know, y'all.
I have serious issues with people who try to utilize spirituality, the church, and all religious bodies to actually just try to throw water on systems that need structural change. No, do not do that. Don't play with that. You don't play with spirituality. You don't play with prayers altogether. So it's very serious. It's very, very serious. And I think everyone should look at it as such. So whomever is going, persons don't have a day of prayer. People that are very spiritual consistently pray, and they consistently pray for and ask for changes and the intervention of a higher power to change things.
But I like what that statement out of the Alliance for Change said, that on the 8th and every day thereafter, prayer is not one day.
Yeah.
Right? And I really want to give a shout out to the religious community in this country.
My goodness.
Whether it's Christians, it's Muslims, it's Hindus, it's Baha'is, it's whoever, because there are people who are consistently praying for us. And I think that's the only reason why we ain't gone over the edge yet, Yeah. We got everything in this country, right? That forms the ingredient, the recipe for chaos and confusion, everything. And I only believe it's but for the grace of God, go we. But for the grace of God, because people have been praying consistently. People have been praying consistently.
My goodness. We definitely one day of prayer, what a joke. Persons are seeing it. I get the message that has been tried to put over. When it comes to a country, and a country that is in such serious need of change altogether, and persons, but what my point is that yes, we have people that go there and pray all the time.
I think,
and those are the people. And tomorrow I'll be looking to see who are the people that are going to be put at the helm to actually offer prayer, because the sincerity of prayer. Let me just not
You know what? The Alliance for Change press statement talked there about exclusion.
Yeah.
And the government has excluded the parliamentary opposition from every national event. I wonder if we invited to the day of prayer. Oh, we got to stay up and pray. I wonder if we can be invited to the Archon Conference Center.
Are we going to be invited to? Is a representative of the opposition going to be invited to offer a word of prayer?
They might like the prayer.
Let us be honest.
They're going to write the prayer. You must say.
Let us be honest. So that's when you separate what is actually genuine and sincere as against what is just there for PR, right? Because if you are talking about all of these things that you want, inclusion, oneness, all this whole concept, do you invite your opposition to offer a word of prayer?
Yeah.
If you are not going down that line, everything is a sham.
Every day we got to pray. We can, decide one day we can pray and tomorrow we can go and thief taxpayers' money, divert it to, ask contractors for kickbacks, right? We're gonna sow seeds of discord in the country. One set of people can get more than the other because
but the power, I want to say, you are absolutely correct. And the power of prayer, it's real, it's out there, it has been proven so many times. I mean, and persons that are out there and that that you listening to us, and you should engage and actually have a sincere prayer as to what changes you want to see in this country.
Yeah. And again, I dare say, as Shrita would say, her favorite phrase, I dare say every day we got to pray.
Yeah.
Right? Every day you do your devotion, you call on the Father for this country, your family, your professional life, your private life. You pray every day. It's not a one day you take a photograph and say, okay, we have done good now because we had a national day of prayer. It's more than that.
Yeah.
Right? Your actions after that should be marked different than when you go in. We cannot engage national life the way we have been doing, right? You got to have mentioned that we are meeting with the opposition.
But you're praying for oneness. Unity.
But you're praying for oneness and unity. Look what happened in the US. I use this as an example. They had what all of their commentators, pundits, political analysts, and so on call an insurrection.
Yeah.
Right? Led by the Donald Trump of the Republicans, and then people still working together to make sure that they stay as the superpower in this world, working together. Right? We had one little snafu in an electoral cycle, and we ready to write off each other. Say, never talking to you again. Right? You got one man here writing every day. He stick on March 2nd, 2020. He got a column every day. March 2nd, 2020. He can't move on. All the rest of things happening in this country. You see it? Right?
Probably he should be lifted.
We should be stuck on Go Cool Voodoo. And what he did, when he tried to thief the seat to give the people that majority. We should have been stuck on that.
What about when the Alliance with Change was robbed there?
When the Alliance with Change was robbed their one seat.
Yep.
When Janet Jagan, dual citizen, threw that court writ over our shoulder, we should have been stuck there. But to God, we got to move on, right? We got to move on at some point and engage each other and build the country. Build the country. We can go and pray tomorrow. Them boys hatching plan to kill people in this country. Hatching plan, how we're not going to divide the resources. But let me go down the road.
Oh my goodness.
Let me go down the road. Down the road we go. Oh. What else we got on the hampers are being shared up.
Oh, well.
Hampers are being shared up. East Coast, we happy for you. All right. We happy for the East Coast. But this can be done in other places too. We hope it could be done in other places.
Let's look at it, guys. As you see there, our culture ministry distributes hampers to hard-pressed fisher folks. I want to read it again. Agri Ministry distributes hampers to hard-pressed fisher folks. And we have been talking about the fact that how things are done in this country. I think Sheriff said it best when he say, you're stressed out, you can't afford this. Look, take a half pint peas.
Take a little chow mein.
Take a little chow mein. I don't think chow mein ever reached in those hampers. This is crazy. But it's specifically the issue that persons are having there, the distribution comes months after, as it is being reported. I'm just going to be reading directly from the report. It says the distribution comes months after a group of fishermen complained of not being able to harvest in their usual groups due to offshore oil operations. Their claim is still to be substantiated, as ExxonMobil has denied that its supporting vessels have prevented fishermen from engaging in their livelihoods. So the fishermen saying because of the offshore oil operations, they are not being able to harvest in their usual grounds. And so what resolution do we get? Take a hamper.
Can't keep you out till December.
Take a hamper.
And then we take another hamper.
Right. People are saying that their livelihood, the economic activity that they rely on to sustain themselves and their families, entire communities, it is being hampered, and they're saying this is what they believe is hampering it. And to solve that issue, you go and you give them a hamper, something that is not going to last them a good week. Yeah.
But that's just one issue. You got these people are facing some economic hardships.
Yeah.
But they're among thousands of Guyanese. And it appears as though there's always one complexion to the PP hamper distribution. Right? You go Barbies, your hamper might be 20 chicken and some fertilizer. That's your hamper in Barbies. Then you come on the East Coast and you look different. But it seems to be it's just supporters, to put it bluntly. Right, who always gets these hampers. I saw a whole outreach to Region 10. A lot of people said, they're falling on hard times there. I didn't see hampers being shared up. Right. But let me go and pray tomorrow. We can solve the problem.
And for that particular system that we're seeing right now, I want to say to the persons that, because you just mentioned it, usually they go to what they consider their support base and give out these hampers and so on and so forth. I want to say to those people, that's not fixing an issue, right? You voted for these people. That's
vote
why
hamper,
they're going. People. And you are complaining that you need a systemic change so that your lifestyle, the lives of your children, and it could be upgraded. You could have an upgraded standard of living. And what are you getting? You're getting something to shut you up for a little while, a little bit of hope. This is a psychological warfare that they practice all the time. They're going to go and they're going to, so it's like, we responded to your call. No, that is not a response. I refuse, and I think that you, the fishermen out there, need to refuse to accept that as an intervention into the issue that they are having. That is not an intervention. That is something to muzzle you for a little bit so you don't go out there, you don't complain. Your lives are worth more than that. The sustainability of your family is important. In order for you to be able to provide for them, that is important. Not having someone just come and give you a hamper and believe that it's all good and done at the end of the day. And I encourage the persons to continue to speak out, because it will not change if you believe that a little bit of hamper could actually keep you and your family for the remainder of the year.
Not gonna make the fish come back. You're just going to throw the chunk in the Atlantic
I always see the necessity to speak towards the folks that they consider their base, because like it or not, if you were to look at the treatment they give to them, it's always a little bit of pittance, show some pittance here and there. That's what they do to the people that they consider their own base. Take a little bit of pittance here and there, something that is temporary, never something that have longevity, never a system that is going to bring change and is going to elevate the actual lives of the people, because they fear if
give me the fish. Don't teach me the fish.
They fear that if persons get to that level, they're not going to be able to have their support as they did before.
Yep. But
so I have my own.
That's that. Other things happening.
Well, as we see there, opposition chief whip at the trade unionists challenge Natural Resource Fund Act. And guys, if you notice there, you're looking at our opposition chief whip, Christopher Jones, and we see the trade unions. I'm pulling
Norris Witter.
My notes here.
Mr. One and only.
Witter. Also.
Norris Witter, one and only.
Well, I know that a lot was on our affiliate program In the Ring last evening. Spoke a lot extensively about this, and for folks that joined that program, you would know that a lot of extensive discussion was had on it. But we were part of that that sitting of the National Assembly when what transpired, and we would consider the government basically bullying the country to accept the Natural Resource Fund bill, bullying us all as a country when they didn't have consultations and all.
Ramming it through the National Assembly. Basically. That, and also the same night they passed also the local content legislation. It's been months later. The Petroleum Commission hasn't been set up. The local content secretariat hasn't been set up. But we can pray for them tomorrow. We could pray that tomorrow. We could pray that the Lord sets up the local content commission.
We have Vin Prasad in the comment section needing some prayers himself right now. So Vin Prasad, thank you for joining us this morning. I'll encourage you to make sure that you also share the live stream so that persons could have credible information as well. Guys, as we continue, all of you share the live stream.
Share.
Right. So continue to come online, continue to join the program. It's very important, and I'm very happy that persons like Vin Prasad is joining the program, and persons that we have a unique ability to be able to draw into truth and credibility. So I'm glad that Vin is here this morning. So
what is happening on the trend?
Well, a lot have been happening, but we have to go through what is the most important among the set. And we see there the tourism training in Barbados for Guyanese still to take off. You know,
Friday's prayer, we got to pray for this too.
No, but
we got to pray that happens. You got to pray that happens.
But this was actually something that was in the media, and I consistently say that we need to keep track of these things. A lot of times we come and we speak about the fact that, oh, well, this is announced. A lot of big headlines come out that this training is going to be done and it's going to benefit Guyanese and all of that. And then the details of it and the aftermath gets lost along the way. And I believe it is important for us to keep track of these promises, you know. It's not all about a nice headline to say, oh, this is going to be done. How are you progressing with this? Have anyone benefited from it? And as we can see right now, it is no one has benefited from that as yet. So big headline and all of that, no one benefited thus far. Still months after, everyone is still
tomorrow waiting. We can pray for it. Don't worry that. Tomorrow we can pray for it. Problem solved.
Most definitely.
Pray and fast tomorrow for it. What else we got happening in the trend?
Well, I think we can safely come out of this trend. But one of the things that I want to discuss I think we have one actual piece that I want to look at before we
Go
go to
ahead.
that.
Go ahead.
Most importantly, as it pertains to the opposition and the opposition members of parliament, everyone would know that we mentioned it a little earlier in the morning papers. We said Mr. Aubrey Norton and Valda Lawrence will be sworn in as MPs on Wednesday. That is next Wednesday. There's a sitting of the National Assembly next Wednesday, and Mr. Aubrey Norton and Valda Lawrence will be sworn in at that sitting. So the opposition will be a full house once more in the National Assembly. Well, sadly, we'll accept Sherrod Duncan because Sherrod is still on suspension. Sherrod is still on suspension. We thank him for his advocacy for women in the National Assembly. So Sherrod is on suspension because he was standing up for the rights of women. So I think you're aware that.
I got to pray about that tomorrow. All
right. So
I pray fast that you're not suspended for standing up for the rights of women in the National Assembly. I got to pray about that.
Yeah.
Pray and fast for that.
Definitely.
Yeah. The big issue this morning, Judah.
Oh, the big issue. So the big issue this morning is what we are seeing around the country as the reintroduction of IMCs once more in our country. We worked long and hard. I mean, the APNU AFC coalition worked excessively to make sure that we moved away from a system of IMCs, right? And today we are seeing that system being dismantled. All the hard work that was put into that system is now being dismantled. It is being strong-armed by political persons on the ground that is looking to the PPP representatives in the administration to do their bidding. And that's as blunt as I can put that over. I think it was you that spoke about the situation in Linden.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. Yesterday, Debbie Prasad from the Ministry of Labor went to Linden and dismantled the entire utility oversight body there. Right, upsetting the whole thing. As a matter of fact, after the meeting, she wrote to the powers that be there and said to them, mind you, this is the oldest, they say, African, co-op society that overlooks the Linden Utility Services Co-op Society. That overlooks, for instance, the Linden Power Company, the operations of the power company there in Linden. And so they dismissed the entire board, for all intents and purposes. They dismissed the entire board. And you know what? They put an IMC in place now.
Interim Management Committee.
One meeting, you put some issues to the people there. They don't have a chance to respond properly or so on. But they now dismiss the entire board of they've now put an interim management committee. And we've been made to understand that this is what's going to happen. Wait for it. Where are you from, Jarita? In Bartica with the Boat Association. So we're seeing a return of the PPP's IMCs.
Well, wow, folks that are joining us from Bartica know that there's a current issue that is happening there right now. As you've been following in the news, persons that are on social media that have had the opportunity to follow will know that Stephen Bell, the PPP representative in Bartica, also one of the PPP's counselors on the RDC in Bartica, Stephen Bell was involved in a physical fight on the Stelling, the Transport and Harbor Stelling, and then again a fight in the Bartica police station. He was serving at that time as the president of the Boat Association. 2 years after that, his elected presidency should have been brought to an end, because the system is supposed to be for 1 year, and he was in there. I believe that it has been alleged for a period of 3 years.
Wow.
Right. So after that, I believe that it was Mr. Gomes that was an election was called, and it was Mr. Gomes that was elected as the new president of the association. Well, Stephen Bell as a representative of the PPP, and he has been doing everything in his power to have that newly elected body dissolved so that he can be put again in the position of power.
Income Ministry of Labor. Enter Ministry of Labor.
So and I want to say this, right, because now it is this morning, Debbie Prasad will be traveling up to Bartico to meet with, and the letter that I was privy to meet with the new management, the current management, and the previous body for the Speedboat Association, because it is being said that Stephen Bell has been lobbying government officials to dissolve the current.
Well, maybe Hamilton got lobbied.
The newly elected body, and to have himself be placed back as the president of that association.
After serving for 3 years.
All right. So that meeting is to be had this morning. So most definitely we will be updating you guys on what transpired after. I mean, this is not a secret, right? Let me put it out there right now. The Bartico Speedboat Association, let me say this is the Bartico Speedboat Owners Association. That is the association, right? This is not a secret business. Whatever the Ministry of Labor want to say in that meeting, so it's not a secret. It's not a state secret. Everyone will have to know, and we will make sure that everyone knows what transpired at that meeting this morning, because it is being said that persons are of the opinion that Miss Debbie Prasad is going up there to do exactly what was done in Linden, to basically remove the elected body and put in an IMC, and it will be all hell if that happens like that, because at some point in time, you have to realize there is power in your voice and there's power in people.
I hope the people know that.
Right? There's power in people. And you just do not take these impositions. Yeah. You can't have a body that met. Representatives from Maritime was present at the election. You cannot have a system like that. And then the ministry come in and decide that, oh, we don't care if that's the system you want. We are just going to impose a system. We're going to place persons here to manage your affair. That is not the way in which a country, a government that loves to speak about democracy, there is no democracy in putting in IMCs. Absolutely none. That's dictatorial. It's dictatorial when you go to Region 10, a coalition one region, and then travel into Region 7, another coalition one region, to impose your way on the people, when the people that live there say that these are the people who we want. You say, no, that's not the way. That is dictatorship.
Yeah, it seems as though the administration, the regime wants its own way. It doesn't want to have to consult. It doesn't like independent bodies. Hence why we see a slew of these commissions and so forth have not been operationalized. They don't like independent opinions and so forth. And that's why even at a boat association level, you have heavy politics being played out. You got the court society in Linden, heavy politics.
If you have the persons like Mr. Stephen Bell he is a political person. He is a RDC councillor, right? So he is a political person. So because of that, he plays a lot of pause. Lots of reports. Some of the things that I wouldn't say it, because some things you just can't confirm. That's why a lot of times when I speak, I say, this is alleged and this is what is being said. Persons are speaking about a lot of things, right? That I would not say on air, because things that I am yet to confirm. But what I do know is that a letter was sent inviting the persons there from Debbie. A letter was sent inviting persons to that meeting there, and persons are saying that they are of the belief that she is going there to create a IMC. So again, I say we will know of the details and the facts after the meeting is had, and we're definitely going to be bringing that to light.
And we have to move past these. This is the preferred method.
Well, we can move away from Bartica, and we can move away from Linden. We could just look at the Eastwood IMCs.
This is why, and exactly, this is one of the feature of their last dispensation in office. You had an IMC at City Hall for a long time, right? A long time. You had IMCs in lots of places in where you should have democratically elected local bodies. You had a lot of IMCs because they don't like this notion of the people deciding who they want. And that is why you had, according to them waves yesterday, the government don't need to consult with nobody according to the AG because they don't like that.
Article 13 unenforceable.
Article 13 unenforceable. We are the end all. We only got to talk to ourselves. The 5, the 10 of us making all the decisions. That is what they like. Hence, and if there's no pushback from the people, we're going to see more and more of this cropping up right where you are. IMCs, interim management committees.
Yeah. But we definitely will be bringing whatever details it is because, like I said, it's speculation that persons believe that the IMC is what is wanted to be created in Bartica, but the details to what actually will transpire will be known after the meeting. The meeting has not been had as yet. So I am hoping that better sense prevails. I'm hoping that better sense prevails and that the system, and that there's not more confusion after the meeting is had. Yeah. So a lot to be said there, but IMCs are not something that no one should support, especially when it comes to the regions in which the coalition won, because these are the areas in which government go and actually try to impose these IMCs and put them in play because the people on the ground don't want them to lead and represent them. They elect bodies, and when the elected bodies are in place, the government remove whatever bodies that is put there. Well, not remove, a lot of times they put alternatives. Like in Linden, for example, we spoke on a podcast yesterday, the fact that there's the representative of the office of the Prime Minister that will be looking after the applications for these jobs and all of these things, just going around the system and not allowing the elected people to function. And IMCs like Bartica, before the local government election, there was an IMC there. Before you had the town council in place, there was an IMC that was there for a little period of time. Prior to that, you had the NDCs and so. But when you don't have elections and management at that level, it's very nasty. But I believe that I have a little hope that better sense will prevail, but we will be updating on that matter.
During our podcast, we're going to give you guys an update on this very issue. Again, on our podcast, Below the Belt at 12 today. Yep. But good to see so many of you here. Shayla Cambridge. Is it Shayla? Shania? Right. The all eyes folks, apologies. Akila Ash is here, and Vin Prasad says he can't wait for the election.
Oh, well, that's a lot of persons can't wait for election.
Jordan, Jasmine Carmichael, and Cherry Baskin Greenwich, Pinky Vaughn, and Amabel Clement, and all the other folks. We want to thank you for joining our program this morning.
Yeah.
And that's our time. Oh, has gone by so fast. Thanks for joining us, folks, wherever you joined us from. And we hope that your day is off to a productive, informative start. We're happy to have been a little part of that.
Thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to join us tomorrow morning once more.
Yes, we'll be back tomorrow. Final program for the week.
Final program for the week for FYI. But Sharon Duncan is going to be Below the Belt Saturday and
Lucky
Sunday
me.
also.
Lucky me.
So guys, continue to do what you do. Share the live stream. I encourage all the persons that I saw. We had, I think, 2 new names I saw on this morning that was commented a lot. So thank you for joining us and hope that you come back tomorrow to be a part of the discussion.
Yep, guys. And as we say that, as we always say, come back and partner with us so we can do more of these programs. You are the guys that keep the program going predominantly. You folks, because of your gifts, of your giving, your contribution, your support, your love for us guys, you keep us going throughout all these programs, whether it's In the Ring, whether it's FYI, whether it's Below the Belt, whether it's our affiliate website, credible sources. Because of your love and support, we keep going and we keep growing and going, and we're so happy that is happening. And you guys have been such a tremendous part of that, because so many platforms available, from Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG. We're available via Western Union, via MoneyGram, you name it, guys. You want to be part of that? Help us to grow and to go forward. 627-6963 is not only our MMG number, It's our WhatsApp number as well. We'll tell you, we can give you guys some more information there. WhatsApp us, 6276963. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good day.
Jordan and Donna, Melinda Inez, Donna McDonald, Whitney Bias, Bella Mona. How are you doing, Bella? So good to see all of you. Fantastic. Lovely people. Edward Gonzalez and Marilyn Thomas. Good to see each and every one. It's been a pleasure and privilege having you guys here with us this morning rather. That's our time here.
Have a good day, guys. Have a blessed day. Tomorrow we'll see you again.
Stay safe.